Hey everybody, how's it going? We're not going to waste any time today. We are going into the jungle. We're going to explore the right side of the jungle, which we haven't been able to explore yet. Well, we could have, but we chose not to. So the right side of the jungle is where you unlock a whole bunch of other stuff that you need to progress in the game. And so we're going to do that for you today. The enemies that you find here, we're going to talk about them. And we're going to talk about all the different things we need to scan. So those enemies you see on your screen are like cannons. They hurl mucus or acid, poison, whatever, at you. However, if you stand close to them, you can see it comes in an arc. So if you stand close to them, you won't get hit. Like if you stand directly in front of them, it just goes above your head. It's actually pretty funny. But go ahead and scan those too. You need to unlock something new in the game. And now here are the first sign of a Trashium vein. So, yeah, thanks a lot, stupid spitty thing. Trashium veins are necessary to make Trashium ingots, which, if you remember, were another part of our crafting tree that we needed to unlock. So, yeah, we have some new things to look forward to in this particular area of exploration. We're also going to be unlocking a new fast travel point. So yeah, lots of stuff happening today. This area, here we go, easy, right? Not as hard as the other one to find and actually activate. So you can see that if we're going to go by the order of those fast travel points, you can infer that the jungle should be explored first prior to going to the hive, or go deeper into the hive, I suppose. But you know, we do our own kind of thing around these parts. So I had a drill on me, went ahead and started mining some trash. So some of the ore, I use that term loosely, some of the ore in this game cannot be obtained by smashing, like you could with limestones or with rocks or that kind of stuff. So you have to use the drill. And there you go, you see, just right over your head, not a problem. You have to drill it, there's no other choice. And so trash is one of them, silica is another one of them, and there's some other ones that I've found here and there that have the same problem. So, just keep that in mind if you're thinking, oh, I can just skip drilling, not a problem. Nope, can't skip drilling. And the other good part about this area is that it actually connects to another part of the trash heap, so you can go explore that too. I don't know, just so much exploration that you can, yeah, of course I run into that. So much exploration you can do in the game once you unlock other parts. And you can see I don't need the cube to access any of these areas. In the high view, I guess you don't really need it either, but it makes traversing it easier. So that's what we're going to go with. That's a little tech there for you guys. The Rocco plus a jump plus your glider allows you to cross really large distances extremely easy. So just don't forget that. It's going to be helpful as you go into these levels that require you to traverse long distances. So yeah, there you go. See, jump, glide, and we're good. Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at the platforming part of this game. It's not that hard, but once you get used to the controls, you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. It comes extremely useful in the boss fights. That's one thing that I've noticed, that, for example, if you saw last episode, we faced the hive boss and we didn't get wrecked, but we got killed. But I feel now that after looking at it once and knowing what it does, I can go back in there and beat it pretty handily without many issues. So it's been nice to have clear progress through the games, and like I said, even though you guys don't get to see all that of me going deep to collect resources, I really could make the argument that a lot of this resource gathering I've kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit about. And what I mean by that is I've been stubborn in terms of saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go manually collect things versus, for example, if I need stone, I could just get a drill and leave it there and it collects like 40 stone for me without any problem. That kind of stuff. So if using those tools available to me to be able to do things more efficiently would be best. But again, I'm a stubborn guy, and I kind of just want to do. Oh, okay, so here we go. This is interesting. So this is the boss. All right, I had no idea. I was just walking here, and I was like, okay, what's this? There's a bunch of explodey things. I said to myself, really, is this the boss? And yeah, this is the boss. I didn't fight it. You see it releases those little globs. They don't leave anything on the floor, which is nice. I did say to myself, might as well just scan it. I'm already here. The boss doesn't damage me. Only the attack does, which, I stood right under it for it. So that's great. So that was the giant Nestor. I'm not going to fight the Nestor right now. But next episode, that's literally all I'm going to do. I'm going to go fight the Nestor, beat it up, and then I'm going to go fight the Hive boss and beat them up. And that'll be all 3 of those bosses down. I think I only have 1 more to go, which is in the darkness area. So down here, it's interesting. Careful. All of this blows up. Okay? So if you're trying to kill these creatures, you're going to have a huge explosion on your hands, and you're going to make yourself explode, which is hilarious. Yeah, this is the jungle explored. I'm guessing there's a couple of other areas I haven't visited that I need to be better about looking at, and but I don't think I'm missing out on too much or anything necessarily new. I found some new enemies. I found some new, the Trashium deposits that I know I'm going to need. So hey, I'm good for now. However, we're going to go visit a new area now. I felt, brave, and I felt like exploring, and I wanted to unlock my Kent cube thingy, and I said, here we go, let's do that. It's another cosmetic item. But I also wanted to explore further into the deep. I was very curious as to what the deep entailed, right? Because I visited briefly when I unlocked the phase dash thingy. I saw that and I said, oh, okay, well, that's something. And I noticed from, as I mentioned in my previous walkthroughs, that I could theoretically walk around the dark area without needing my lantern. Right? I noticed that. I said, oh, okay, you just put on your scan, and technically you can see what's the drawback of that? Well, you're pressing your scan button, and your scan button doesn't allow you to press any other button. So if you want to attack, for example, you need to let go of your scan button. It becomes pitch dark, and then you can't see anything. But if you can figure it out, which is what I did in this episode, you can explore the depths without unlocking the lamp, which is the light, which is pretty nice. So here I go, right? So I went to the right. There's a couple of things here to talk about. See, I can't use my scan and my thing at the same time, which is pretty bananas. This was pretty annoying. So you just have to line it up perfectly, basically, because your glider doesn't fit through there. That's a weird design choice. Anyway, these spiky balls here, you can pull them, and you can hit them, and they fall down, but they hurt you if they fall down. These items on the ground, they are spikes, and they hurt you if you run into them. But here is our platinum node. So platinum nodes are new. You have not found those yet, and this is an area where to get them. Go ahead and scan them, and you can, if you've unlocked the next step of the seeds, right, you can get them planted. You can make platinum seeds, and you can make the platinum plants and start farming those rather than having to come down here. But I found that this area is more scary than anything else the deeper I went into it. There's these things from the ground that, hit you, and they pop back up and they hurt you. But now we have blood crystal veins. So blood crystal veins I have not been able to mine yet, but there's my cognitive fluid type D. That's how you unlock it. So there you go, guys. Cognitive fluid type D unlocked today live. You saw it. So all I need to do is grab a drill and come back and leave it there, and I'll farm that up, and I'm going to have my cognitive fluid type D. So, we're really progressing quickly now through the game. That's the last fluid I believe we need, and we have it. The area itself, I don't know. I think it's more the darkness scary thing than anything else with the dash. This isn't a problem at all getting around, and there's such a large delay between the plants popping up and trying to, hurt me, that I can easily just dash out of the way. So I don't foresee that as a problem at all. See, you don't have to worry about it, which is kind of nice. There are some enemies that you have to be aware of, especially the spiders that do a lot of damage. But see, we're unlocking more cosmetic items, but there's one of the spiders. I said, what the heck is that? That was my first thought. And always when I go into these new areas, I want to say, well, what's the damage, right? How much damage are they actually going to do to me if I get hit? Right, I have a lot of health now, and so I want to see how much damage they can take. And the answer is not a lot. Just one strong hit from my staff, and down they go. Now, I will say this. I've already unlocked the more damage on melee from my staff. You didn't get to see me do it because I did it between episodes, but I went ahead and I upgraded my staff to do more damage for melee. I did do that. So this particular area that I'm in right now, I believe it's an end game area. This isn't an early game area at all. But look what I unlocked, guys. Follow me on the path here. I unlock phase dashing. That's the next step of the dashing tree. This is where you get it. So if you follow me around, follow me along on the playthrough, you too will unlock the next stage of phase dashing, which is so cool. I'm going to try to craft that next, along with beating the 2 bosses. I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I do show it to you a little bit in the end. These guys, I don't know what they do. I really need to scan the spiders. I was like, oh, I can bring them to me. Interesting. So yeah, you can grab those spiders and bring them to you. But I wanted to scan these bone piles. They're called boneyard shrubs. I have no idea what they give you. Then you have these things here, which do damage to you. They release these little things that you can't really see, that you have to attack. But they're a source of more. They're a source of more materials. And here's the spider, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do a little platforming and grab you and scan you, and we're good to go. So you see how it says youngling? There's a reason it says youngling. And that's because there's an adult version of it. And that adult version of it is pretty damn terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. When I was exploring, I ran into it, and you're gonna see me there. So there's a spoiled gel. Somebody in the Discord was asking, how the heck do I get spoiled gel if I'm playing a game? And there's the adult version of the spider. It can't follow me down, so I was like, oh, okay. And it was getting hit by the poison. So I was like, oh, even better. Not an issue there, right? They can be hurt by those spikes that fall down. They can get hurt by that too. So that's pretty cool. I haven't scanned the big spider, but it does unlock something. So here, that's pretty much, I think, everything in this area that's new to you guys. The rest of the stuff we find on here is, I've scanned it all. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, here comes the big spider. But I can move fast enough to get out of the way if I need to. I just didn't want to fight it and get smashed. But the small spiders are no big deal. You can see with the upgraded melee, I do a lot of damage, so that's not a problem. The real issue becomes that you have to traverse this area with, a bunch of giant spiders and a bunch of all this other stuff. Yeah, I guess I didn't really scan the giant spider. Oopsie. From here, I kind of panicked because my life was so low and I had been grabbing all this stuff, these platinums and all this other things, and I was kind of like, maybe now is a good time to head back home and store what I've gotten. Because if I die, I don't want to have to come back here right now to pick everything up. So that's a big thing. And that's going to do it for this episode, actually. I go back home and I rest, and then I'm going to explore some more of this area after I defeat the 2 bosses and do some more stuff. But yeah, we're nearing the end of the series. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat the 2 bosses, and I'll showcase that. And after I beat the 2 bosses, I will go and just make my farm really efficient to be able to collect the last of the amount of materials that I need to complete the 2500 threshold on all of them. Just collect the materials for the monolith. But I need to set up my farm really efficiently to be able to do that. So I will. I'll do that, but I'll do it off stream. I'll show it to you once I'm done. And then I need to go and scan everything I had scanned, which is just a couple of things. Now, I haven't missed a lot of things. And I think that's the end game. I think that's the end game of Kentum. I don't see there being anything else other than me collecting those 3 levels of materials in the monolith and unlocking all the things you can unlock. So there's phase dashing and uranium core, which I don't have yet, but I unlocked it with grabbing that, and then I get dash distance. So cool, 2 new upgrades that we got right now that you can follow along with. Alrighty, that's going to do it for me today. Have yourselves a great Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you later.